What's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today we're going to be talking about the Houston Texans Day 1 minicamp. As today, the Houston Texans' first day of minicamp happened. We got to see a lot. I'm going to be going over a lot of observations from today of, some things we saw from training camp. It's a lot of, C.J. Stroud stuff. A couple wide receivers, that made some decent plays. A couple drops by a couple wide receivers that we're gonna go over. But we're gonna go over it all. Kind of getting some intel from Sports Map. I've seen a couple clips of minicamp from today. Saw some C.J. Stroud and Davis Mills clips, but this is where I'm getting my intel of what happened today is from a Sports Map article. But what I did hear, what I woke up to today, is that the Texans, D'Amico Ryans announced that he thinks that the C.J. Stroud Davis Mills QB competition is gonna go well into training camp. So that's what I kind of thought would happen with that QB competition. So I'm gonna be honest, that's not surprising to me, but now it's basically official that there is going to be a QB competition in the training camp, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there is still a QB competition once the preseason is started. I'm thinking D'Amico will probably announce the starter around probably week 1 to week 2 of preseason, probably, but we'll see. But that is what I woke up to here, and seeing D'Amico said that, but. I know a lot of Texans fans don't want Davis Mills to be the QB1, but we got to give him a chance. There's a lot of new, good wide receivers and guys on offense on the roster. C.J. Stroud is the future quarterback, but at the same time, and this is for the development of C.J. as well. You don't want C.J. to come in just like that and all the keys are handed to him. And he's gonna feel like, okay, I got this in the bag. This is all mine. Let him fight for this. He's our future quarterback. But if Davis Mills has to start a game or two in the regular season, that doesn't really mind me. It makes him more ready to go. If Mills starts like the first 1 to 3 games of the season, C.J. Stroud's going to be fired up coming in to make his debut. I'm not saying the Texans should start off Davis Mills in week 1 because I absolutely don't think they should. I think C.J. Stroud he needs to be starting in Baltimore week 1, but I think this QB competition is going to be great for him, and I'm actually really excited about it. But into the QB competition for today, Davis Mills kind of had his number today. Davis Mills did pretty well, and C.J. Stroud struggled a little bit. And but yeah, let's go over some observations of training camp. We're going to start off with C.J. Stroud having an up and down day. There was nothing horrible about his day, but Stroud had some bad moments. The bad moments were often followed by an impressive play or two. There's plenty to dig into from this practice for a rookie quarterback. That's what the article says. But there was a couple bad plays CJ made. A couple throws that there was nowhere near his target. There was no targets nowhere even near to where he was throwing to, and just some bad plays. And CJ's worst moment of the day was on a rollout. The naked bootleg had Stroud with a roll to his left, but the throw left plenty to be desired. Stroud knew it to nowhere and nobody. So, not that great of a play by Stroud on that. By what that sounds like, that was not a great play by C.J. Stroud. And then, but that was the next play for CJ. Was the throw of the day. Stroud hit Nico Collins down the sideline for a big play. The pass was perfectly placed by the coverage of the defense. Collins hauled it and went out of bounds. Fantastic stuff from the rookie quarterback. So Stroud had his worst moment of the day, and then his next play had his best moment of the day. So, I guess it was bad that he had his worst moment, but that shows, motivated him to go out there and throw a dot to Nico Collins. Next thing, Nico. Talking about Nico got me confused when I saw Noah. Noah Brown dropped the pass out of the slot. That would have been a big play. It's nothing too serious. I mean, but it does say that CJ Stroud and Noah Brown after the play would dap up and have a discussion about the play, but it happens, and it's mini camp, so who cares? And then Brevin Jordan dropped a touchdown pass and 7-on-7 work that CJ Stroud threaded it perfectly, and Brevin Jordan dropped the touchdown pass, and Xavier Valade, running back rookie who was undrafted. We signed him right after the draft. It was one of the first guys we picked up. The next play, Stroud had checked it down to Stroud threw a pass to Xavier Holiday for a touchdown. Stroud had checked it down to shortly before the end zone, and Valade took it in. Then Davis Mills basically outperformed. The next thing is that Davis Mills outperformed CJ Stroud on the 7-on-7 drills. Mills had a nice day, but at the same time, Mills was solid. But CJ struggled a little bit. But both quarterbacks led game-winning drives in the 2-minute drill near the end of practice. So that's another good sign by both quarterbacks. So that's good. And then the next thing is that Will Anderson was unbelievable at practice today. What it says is that Will Anderson was a menace, which is, if that's what it's saying, then they can't wait to see him on the field this season. But I mean, yeah. So Will Anderson was a dog today. Bunch of tackles for loss, a couple sacks. And it's no pads, but at the same time, he was killing it today. Then also the secondary was really amazing today in this first day of minicamp. And Eric Murray looked nice. So did Jalen Petrie and Derek Stingley Jr. And then Jimmy Ward looked great as well. But and then also it says that the linebacker room is intriguing. But I mean, I think we kind of already knew that. Although I do think the Texans need to add some depth at linebacker. But reading all that stuff right there, I mean, I like what I heard and saw. But I probably need to go look at more clips. But yeah, I mean, CJ and Davis both played well, led to game-winning drives in 2-minute drill. A couple drop passes by Noah Brown and Brevin Jordan, but that's okay. Noah Brown and CJ Stroud had a moment after that play on discussing the play, and then excellent catch by Nico Collins after CJ Stroud had his worst moment of the day, makes his best right after. Beautiful throw by CJ Stroud. And a beautiful catch by Nico Collins. And, yeah, it was a solid day for the Texans to start off day one. A lot of things to look out for in this minicamp and to go on into training camp for the Houston Texans. But using my thoughts on day one, I think this is, the start of a really long offseason, a really long, not offseason, offseason's already been going on for a while. Really long, this is going to be a really, really long mini camp / training camp and preseason. And I'm really excited to get this stuff started with the QB competition. And there's going to be some other battles on this team. I think there's going to be some battles on the defense with depth chart. I'm looking at a defensive end battle between maybe a John Grenard and Jerry Hughes, who could I think that could potentially be a starter. I think that could be a competition for the backup, or not the backup, the number 2 starting defensive end for the Texans. Obviously, Will Anderson's the number 1, but I think there could be a real decent battle between between Jerry Hughes and John Grenard. I think there's a couple other potentials for battles on the defense, but I think it's going to be a really interesting rest of the mini camp and then training camp once that officially arrives. I think that's like July something for the Texans, but I'm super excited for this whole mini camp process for the Texans. Really solid day for the Texans in the first day. You guys have your thoughts, and that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out. Go Texans.